Let's go.
Here, take the camera. All right. My mother writes to her mother from Bunut, PK Kasadan, Sumatra East Coast, Dutch East Indies, 21 January 1938, as follows. We had a grand party Tuesday night. It was a beautiful moonlit night, and after rehearsal, we were sitting around in the club feeling pretty disgusted about everything, when one of the fellows said, how about going for a boat ride on the river? There are about 6 men who own this motorboat and go out sea fishing in it on weekends, and Mr. Collins, being one of them, knew how to drive it. So we all piled into one car, 8 of us, and drove to Tanjang Tiram, which is about 3/4 of an hour's drive from here, and is where all of our fish comes from. Well, it was simply gorgeous out there, with pure white sandy beach on either side, and beautiful stalwart palms silhouetted against the sky. The river itself empties into the sea, so after going out about a mile, we were right in the ocean. And did it seem good to smell the salt water again, because we never see the sea from one year's end to the other out here. There was a small steamer anchored out, so we went out to it, but they wouldn't let us on board. Then we went back and got out on one of the beaches. There were crabs running all over, and we built a fire and played leapfrog and sang and had a perfectly grand time. We didn't get home until 3:30 a.m., but it was good, clean fun, and I don't think it hurt us at all. So here I am with my driver Adriel, 77 years later, on the same river. On either side of the river there would have been these quartz white beaches, which are now gone, replaced by these fishing shacks, and most of what was beach is now just mud and trash and the awful smell of rotting fish in the tropical heat. You can see on the left and on the right are these fishing shacks, which would have been the beautiful white beaches that my mother describes. So further out, there are still beaches out near the mouth of the river where it enters the ocean. So Tanjang Tiram is still a major fishing port for the east coast of Sumatra. You see many fishing vessels plying their way back and forth out to the ocean. Although it's difficult to see, there are white beaches on the right-hand side. And there are 2 large towers out here. They're probably lighthouses. So now you can see one of the white beaches on the right-hand side. It's fairly low tide now, so perhaps some of these beaches would be covered at high tide.
Just like this. It's not maintained anymore.
Here we are coming back again, so off in the distance, although it's difficult to see in the video, are some of these pure white beaches against the trees that come from inland. And it's amazing that apparently the Indonesians have no proclivity to going to the beach, because there's nobody on these beaches, and they're absolutely beautiful. Now we're coming back further into the river, and there are some more white sand beaches on the right-hand side. This would actually be the north bank of the river. This area was bombed by the Japanese just prior to their invasion of Sumatra in March 1942. There's a fishing boat here coming up on the left, just anchored in the river. It's a fairly fast flowing river, so it takes quite a bit longer to get back than it did to go out. You can see some of the white sand beach there. This is probably some of the area that was bombed by the Japanese, so the fishing huts haven't been rebuilt. These fishing vessels are quite impressive. Of course, they're old, they're in disrepair. But they probably serve very well for bringing in unnecessary supplies of food to the Indonesian people. And you can see on this fishing vessel the large spotlights up on the roof, and again out toward the bow. So they probably do their fishing at night, and it's possible that the fish are attracted to the light, which would probably be illegal in the USA to attract prey like that. Here's a boat being repaired, a couple of boats on the right-hand side being repaired. And now we're coming back into our berth where we departed at the harbor. It's amazing to think about the exchange rate for Indonesia, that this half hour or more boat trip out to the ocean and back cost me about $7.50. And so there you have it.